Good morning, Bruins. This is our second of several short morning homeroom assembly series providing educational information to our BHS students and faculty. Last month, we addressed the serious topics of sexual misconduct, healthy and unhealthy relationships, and your social media presence with Miss Carrie Crowley. This week is Red Ribbon Week, a time to think about healthy choices and healthy living. Today, I'm going to present on the topic of, yes, you guessed it, vaping. What you need to know about this unhealthy habit and what you can do if you are addicted to your vape. I know you all know I don't appreciate vaping, and I think it has truly put a stranglehold on so many of you and our teenagers around the world. For all of you who have never vaped, stopped vape, or quit vaping, thank you. Good for you for showing self-control and fighting the pressures to try vaping or start vaping. While you might say, why do I need to hear this? Well, I'm pretty confident that you know a friend who vapes, or you may be asked to vape down the road by friends at a party, maybe at college or in the workplace. The more you know and the more you are informed of what these vaping devices are and what they contain, the better it will be for you when confronted to try it yourself, or when you see a friend dependent on vaping, you can better be informed to get them help or offer them assistance. While I think these devices that started out as a way to help cigarette smokers quit smoking, they had great and positive intentions. The reality now is these devices are marketed to teenagers and have created a new world where millions of teenagers are addicted, truly addicted. If you want to quit, you're addicted to it, tied to that vape, needing to get a hit or nicotine or THC. I've actually had students describe to me that their vape is like a parasite stuck in their brain, and they can't help but to hit that and get multiple puffs, hit that vape multiple times a day, maybe even in class, but certainly in the bathrooms or maybe walking down the hallway. Even if you don't want to, the urge is there. It's constantly nagging at you because you're addicted. What are the side effects of vaping? What we need to know and what we expect to see in 10 years. The exposure of heated aerosols in vaping in your lungs is unsafe, as vape juice not only contains nicotine or THC that gives you the high or the stimulant to your body, it also contains many chemicals. That's how it fires up and gives you the aerosol. Many chemicals and many flavorings that have been known to cause cancer, lung irritation, a horrible lung condition called popcorn lung, where your lungs lose part of their function to take in oxygen, heart disease, lung cancer, asthma attacks, and a decrease for you athletes in athletic ability to do anything because of a reduction in oxygen to your muscles. Why on earth would anybody want to do that if that's the health risks that you face? The scariest thing, we won't really know the true dangers of vaping until probably about 10 years out, after we see what a decade or two of vaping actually does to the human body. We do know from research right now that nicotine, though, in any form, is harmful to your developing brains. And yes, teenagers, you're all adolescents. You may be young adults, but you're adolescents and your brain is still forming. The disruption of that formation of the brain can disrupt the circuits that control your attention, your ability to learn, and may make you more susceptible to addiction at a later age. Research has proven this. Research has also shown that early age of smoking and pleasurable initial experiences are correlated with daily use and a lifetime of nicotine dependence. Vaping nicotine can also intensify symptoms of depression and anxiety and increase stress levels. And I know some teens use it to decrease those, but in actuality, the research shows it can increase your stress or anxiety. Today, as part of Red Ribbon Week, I'll be offering several updates, facts that I just shared, and opportunities to break the habit of vaping. We're also offering you amnesty this week if you turn in your dirty old filthy vape. Here's a couple. If you turn these in to the office, to your counselor, to an administrator, whether you're an athlete, you're an a cappella singer, you're an AP chemistry student, a ninth grader, or a senior, you'll not get in trouble if you turn it in and you ask for help. Stop by to see your counselor, our social worker, Mr. Mitchell, or any administrator. You should also be getting a handout in homeroom today with information on a new vape education program being offered by the University of Rochester Medical Center and the Center for Community Health and Prevention, called the Vape Escape program. Homeroom teachers, please make sure that all of your students get that Vape Escape program handout. It's front and back. This program is being offered via Zoom to groups of teenagers in the Rochester area. There's a QR code to register, and you can attend one or all 5 of the sessions with experts in the field of nicotine and substance abuse and addiction. These sessions are free and for teenagers only. If you want to register and keep your camera off so nobody sees you, you can do that too. There's also a quick self-survey on the back of that sheet that you can take to see how much are you vaping and do you really have a problem? And should you partake in this program? So, why do we think vaping has taken hold of many teenagers at BHS and around the world, and why do students even vape? Well, students, I'll tell you. And I know you're at parties, kids go to parties, we know you go to parties. Many of the students there are vaping, some drinking, and some both. Our youth risk survey stats from BHS and Monroe County also share that. There'll be a screen that shows you some data, and I'll just quickly share. In 2017, 172 students from Brighton High School, or 18%, said they vaped during the past 30 days. How many students have tried e-cigarettes? Well, in 2017, 280 students. In 2019, 311 students, 34% of our student body, said they tried e-cigarettes or vaping at least once, and it was 30% in the county. Not a good stat to be higher than the county. And then for our students who smoke weed and marijuana, which is weed, out of all the kids who smoke weed, they said that they vape. 36% of the students said they vaped their marijuana. That's up 12% from 2017. So we went from 80 students to 109 students, 24% to 36% of our student body who said they vaped their marijuana. And vaping it, smoking it, in a blunt, neither is good, but when you vape it, you get even more harmful chemicals in your body. And why do students vape? Well, nicotine buzz, they're self-medicating, and of course their friends are using it. It's a very social thing. 31%, 27%, so that's almost 60% of our student body say they vape just to get the buzz or the hit or because it's social. Now back to me, the old devices like Juul pods. So Juul pods, their concentration in nicotine was about 2 packs of cigarettes. Here's a pack of cigarettes. 1 Juul pod that you would smoke had the equivalent of 2 packs of these for the nicotine. So 1 Juul pod, 2 packs of cigarettes, that's how much nicotine you got. This was popular before COVID. After COVID, it kind of went downhill. Juul is now they're under lawsuits, and it was a pretty plain looking kind of a device, and nobody buys them anymore. So now the new vaping devices. Think about this. Lost Mary Triple Berry Duo Ice. Boom. Elf Bar Strawberry Pina Colada. Lost Mary Strawberry Sundae. Okay, that does not sound like an adult cessation device to me. They're marketed for adults, but students are trying them. They're being marketed to you as teenagers, and unfortunately, for those of you who try them or your friends who try them, these new devices are even more addictive than the old ones. Why, you say? Well, let me tell you. 1 Lost Mary device, one of these, contains as much nicotine as 200 cigarettes, okay? There's 20 cigarettes in a pack. Do some mental math. 20 cigarettes in a pack, 10 packs in a carton. That means there are 200 cigarettes in a total carton, and you will get out of this Lost Mary. So if you vape one of these Lost Marys, by the time you get done consuming this, you will have smoked enough cigarettes, 200 of cigarettes, and get the same amount of nicotine. So if I had 10 of these packs of cigarettes, that would equal this 1 Lost Mary vape device. Old vape device, 20 cigarettes. Juul pod, 40 cigarettes. A Lost Mary device, 200 cigarettes. Not only are these new vaping devices more addictive and more unhealthy, the marketing campaign to sell these devices sound like ads from a souped-up sports car commercial. Let me share with you one little item that I picked up on the Elf Bar. The Lost Mary Elf Bar 07 5000 puff disposable vape. The Lost Mary Elf Bar 07 5000 puff disposable vape is a remarkable piece of engineering, packing performance and style into one neat package. Featuring a candy shell and a flag-on design with 37 vibrant flavors to choose from. It's the perfect choice for both casual and advanced vapors alike. The 07 5000 offers an impressive 5,000 puff lifespan, so you don't have to worry about constantly running out of your juice. To top it off, the device is equipped with a battery indicator that changes color to signify green, high, blue, medium, and a red. You got a low, light, you better get it charged. Meaning you can always make sure your device is adequately charged before hitting it. Is that like a car ad or what? And the flavors? Blueberry, raspberry, peach, cherry cola, cranberry soda, Mad Blue, Merry Dream. No wonder teens are getting stuck on these things. It's all just insane. And I'm afraid for those of you who use these devices or your friends, it's not healthy for your body and it's extremely addictive. Since it is so addictive, I can't just tell you, stop doing it. Don't do drugs. If you ever watch South Park, you know their counselor. Don't do drugs, Don't do drugs. It's bad, Don't vape, Well, I'm sorry. That's the wrong attitude. You shouldn't do it. But if you're already addicted, especially with that much nicotine, you can't stop even if you wanted to. So that's why the University of Rochester is offering these free teen sessions starting on October 25th on Zoom. If you're truly addicted and you commit to being evaluated, you may even be eligible for some sort of nicotine patch or gum that your physician would have to prescribe for you, and the school would support you if you got a prescription, because you cannot continue to be hooked to these things. Scan the QR code if you want to learn more and register for one or all of these 5 sessions on Zoom. And now a short PBS clip summarizing a lot of what I shared with actual teens who are addicted, sharing their stories, and for medical professionals and people in the field sharing their observations and cautions with vaping.
I would vape every day.
24/7, every chance I could, I would try and take that hit.
Every hour.
Once every 15 to 20 minutes.
I would wake up in the middle of the night, take a hit.
And most of the time it never left my hand. I just kind of learned how to do things with just one hand.
First time I vaped was on one of the first days of middle school in 7th grade. I went in the girls' bathroom and there was a big group of popular girls, like the really pretty ones everyone wanted to be friends with. They asked me if I wanted to try their vape that they had. The first time I tried it, I felt like I was gonna throw up. My chest got super tight and I was trying to play it off like nothing was happening. They saw that I wasn't a snitch, that I wasn't gonna tell on them, so they asked me to hang out with them more. Previously, I didn't really fit in at all. And so just like having that feeling like someone wanted to be my friend just meant everything to me. When I first started vaping, I used to get them from friends, maybe having 1 puff bar a week, and I thought that was enough. But I soon started vaping more, and I'd go through a puff bar every 3 days, and one just wasn't enough.
The brain doesn't fully develop until we're about 25. So when youth are using these products that contain nicotine, it's easier for them to get addicted. Nicotine affects the way the brain works. It can affect mood, impulse control, learning, attention, all of those things that our teens are doing daily.
Thank you.
You are very welcome.
Even though I've been off of it for like a month and a half, like I still remember and crave how it feels, you know? And every time I wake up, I think about how good it would be to have one. But
It's not a good idea.
I feel like it's never gonna go away, and I just wish I never did it, you know?
I'm the
Because
same way. I'm still addicted and I don't want to be because I know it'll just mess with my life. I wouldn't get good grades. I started failing in school because of it. I was like, oh, I need the nicotine. So I'd run to the bathroom. I'd text my friends, wouldn't pay attention just so I could go get nicotine.
I would like hit it in class, like
Me too.
do the
Put it in
sleeve
your
part.
sleeve.
Yep.
put your hand up in
Or
your
like
bra.
move the Chromebook and like do tricks under it and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
No.
In our science class, we always
Yeah.
used to do that.
And I never did get caught.
I noticed a lot of physical effects of vaping like right off the bat.
I feel so drained,
It's so tired so often.
Extreme chest pain.
winded easily.
I'd have to use my inhaler a lot more.
My lungs are hurting.
And I could barely breathe in at all.
I can't breathe.
I can't breathe.
I could not breathe.
When I was younger, I was angry all the time. Some of the ways I would manage my anger was vaping. I'd vape to feel better, but when I didn't have it, I would crave it and get very angry, and I'd go back to that cycle to where I wanted to buy more.
I was in boxing for like 3 years. I loved it. I was really good at boxing. I was getting into like more top fights with people that I thought were like crazy good.
And then I started vaping, and that's when a lot of things started to change. I started getting shortness of breath. I didn't really feel motivated to go to practice. I just wanted to go in my room, relax, and start vaping and just kick back.
Sometimes whenever I'd hit it, my lungs would hurt. Like, I feel like I couldn't breathe after. I'll start coughing. I remember like sometimes whenever I would take too many hits, I'd puke. I don't know if that's normal, but my nose would bleed.
Vaping held me back from a lot of things I love to do.
We are seeing children as young as 7 or 8 years old that are vaping. We are also seeing lung injury that occurs with vaping. When we see kids in the hospital with vape-related injury, it goes along with respiratory symptoms such as shortness of breath, low oxygen levels, difficulty with exercise, and a lot of nicotine addictive symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, not feeling good, anxious. Particularly as they come off nicotine, they're experiencing all those symptoms that go along with withdrawal.
Like, I noticed right away that something was off with Damien. First things I noticed that when Damien was vaping was he was self-isolating. We couldn't get him out of his room. I always like would be questioning my parenting. Did I do wrong by giving them freedom to go to the skate park or have friends over? What could I do better as a parent? I don't know. It's hard being a parent. It's hard.
Our lungs are meant for two things: breathing in oxygen, exhaling CO2. Vaping is damaging the lungs. You just started seeing a trend in these teenagers coming in, and why they were coughing, why they were short of breath. You automatically thought it was asthma, but that ended up being the issue, was the vaping. Now it's a regular thing. That's what scares me. It's almost tenfold. It's doubled, tripled, quadrupled. We deal with it in all the youth now. We have changed the way we do a lot of our testing, the way we've worked with the doctors in the emergency department, and the way they question their patients when they come into the emergency department. That's become one of the questions now. Do you vape?
In closing, I remind everyone that students and parents spoke loud and clear last year about wanting to have our bathrooms be safe and clean for everyone. Nobody wants to walk into a bathroom to go number 1 or number 2 and see a crowd of students passing a vape over the stall or under the stall or putting it in the ceiling. Yes, we're on to you. We found these in the ceiling. They don't want an audience watching them go to the bathroom, and they should be able to relieve themselves in peace. So, a reminder to everyone, only one person per bathroom stall, shouldn't be any more than 2 legs in a stall. No loitering or hanging out in bathrooms. If students are waiting for an available stall or a urinal, you should wait outside in the hallway. Bathrooms are for urinating, defecating, and attending to personal hygiene issues, washing hands, blowing your nose. They're not for eating, socializing, or standing around vaping, or in the stall vaping. Students have a right to privacy when using the restroom and should not have to navigate through students vaping or hanging out. Students should get in, get out, and again, important, if you want help, we're offering amnesty this week, or anytime actually. Bring us the vape, tell us you need help, see your counselor, see Mr. Mitchell or an administrator, and we will help you to get that help. Have a great day, Bruins. Thank you.